We are joined now by Caleb Nobles in his third season with the Argonauts of West Florida. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
First of all, championships is something that have been really built from the ground up at West Florida. You guys made it to the championship game of the Gulf South Conference, lost to the eventual national runner-up in Valdosta State. What did you learn about your team from last season?
Yeah, I mean, we got a resilient bunch, and you got to replace a lot from going from last year to this year like everybody else in the country does. But our guys will fight, right? They're scrappy. We played with a lot of young guys last year that are back and ready to, they got the experience. They got the bitter taste of losing games that we feel like we were close and in. So we're excited about them being back and excited about the future with West Florida football.
In today's world, when you say you've got a lot of players coming back, that's a rarity. With the transfer portal and all of these things going on, did you have to go out and re-recruit a lot of your guys, or they were saying, Coach, I'm coming back, it doesn't matter because we got unfinished business?
Yeah, I mean, I think every head coach has to do it differently, and you always got to recruit your roster. Probably in December and April is the biggest time where you got to worry about roster retention more than anything else, and then you kind of decide what you got to go get after you see who leaves and who stays. But we've been blessed with a lot of guys who want to be here. We lost some good players in the portal, but part of that happens when they're good players and they're young and you sign them out of high school and develop them. They get opportunities when they play well. So we're excited about the guys who are here, right, and we've added, and guys that we're excited to – a lot of people don't know about right now, but when the lights turn on the 29th, hopefully they hear their name pretty quickly.
What can you tell me about your offense, specifically your quarterback in Marcus Stokes?
Yeah, we got a lot of guys back on offense. We got 4 offensive linemen who have starting experience. We've signed a couple guys who have starting experience other places. Corey Scott's back, great player. He'll be here in a few minutes, talk to you guys. Marcus Stokes here, who's a great kid, right, really good player, really talented player who took his lumps last year as a redshirt freshman, but he's had a great offseason as far as learning and growing and trying to fix mistakes. And we're excited about our running back room. We got a lot of guys back, top 2 runners back, and tight ends is hopefully a strength for us as well. And then very hopefully we think could be a deep wide receiver room as well.
On the flip side, on your defense, did you want to see some improvement? What aspects of improvement did you want to see, and what can we expect to see this fall?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think any head coach in the country would say they want to see improvement, and our defense is a very good unit, but there's plenty of things we can get better at, and they know that, and our staff, I know for sure, is working to improve and be at our best whenever it matters the most on game day. But I'm excited about a lot of guys we got returning and a lot of new faces that we'll add in and getting them used to our culture and how we call and do things and play, our style on defense.
When you look at your schedule last year, you guys had a run where you were really, demolishing teams until you got into that Valdosta State game. And I remember you said something that you took full responsibility for the loss, and you said that you didn't do enough personally in order to get that win over. That was a unique game for you because not only are you a West Florida guy, you're also a Valdosta State guy. What did that loss teach you about your team as a coach, and what did it teach you about going forward in this conference now that you only got 4 teams counting yourself, and every game really matters now?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a really good team that we played that night and ended up losing the national championship, and got a lot of respect for what Coach Jackson did, and so great opportunity for our guys. We played with a lot of young guys in that game, so a lot of opportunities for them to learn in the moment and be thrown to the fire and use that as learning lessons moving forward. And so we're excited about the experience that we got from that game and looking forward to hopefully kind of using that as motivation. But for us, that's a whole different team. They got a whole different team. We're worried about 2025 and just playing at our best every Saturday.
When you look at your schedule, you really don't have any slouches. Lenore Ryan, you've got North Greenville, you've got Northeastern State, teams of that nature, but you've got those conference games. Do you look at it as 2 separate seasons, or every game trying to build toward winning a conference game?
Yeah, I think every game is important, right? Is the most important game is the next one, but we start out with Lenore Ryan, but we start out with ourselves, right? And we're the only common denominator in every game. So we're not focused on anybody else but the person in the mirror that we're looking at and playing at our best. And I try to kind of break up our game. We got 2 bye weeks this year, so kind of break it up in 3 different quadrants of the season and be able to play. So I'm excited about the schedule, and I think it sets up well for us. And at the end of the day, everybody's good in our level. We've been historically good playing football, so that puts a target on your back, and people want to give you their best when they play you, so you better be ready, and I think our guys have learned that.
Good things have been happening for the Argonauts and on the campus of West Florida. You got a large donation, so a stadium, a proper stadium, as some people would say, is in the works, on its way. You got to deal with a little bit more inconvenience for a couple of seasons, but how important is it getting that stadium moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, I think the inconvenience is definitely worth it, and it gives you something that we see every day at UWF's campus, just the growth overall. And, we're trying to build champions for life, and so giving them the best tools to do that, right, is the best way to do it. So building a new stadium, building a dorm on campus, things that have been put out in the public, and we got a lot of really good, generous donors who help us. They get a lot of limelight for this, but they do a lot of really good things for us every year. So we're excited about the future of UWF, the current UWF, and we think that our alumni base is really excited about what we're doing, and we're excited about moving forward with everything we got going on.
Now, you're a unique person, not only as a player but as a coach, because when they had those 50-year extra years, you took advantage of it, used it to your advantage, won a national title out of it. When you look at the landscape of college athletics today with the transfer portal and all of those things, how has that changed the way that you approach young men, and how has your experience helped recruit young men who are looking for a new place to go?
Yeah, I think, to flip it, my experience definitely helps. I'm a younger guy, obviously, and I'm 31 years old, so I feel like I'm close to those guys and can connect with them, on a good level. And then for me, things have changed, in landslide probably since I sat up here a year ago, 2 years ago. So recruiting's different, everything's different. But at the end of the day, this game is about development, and this game is about, finding young men that you want in your program and helping develop them to be great men in the future, great husbands, great fathers, employers, things like that football is going to end for everybody that you play, right? And when you play the game, the air will come out at some point. So all this outside noise that you hear is great, but at the end of the day, you got to develop men, right, and help them play football at a high level, but get a degree, because that's the most important thing for them. So things change, but development and character do not change, and it never will in the history of the world. So we're excited to do that at UWF, and we think it's a great place to help develop those guys on their path.
What do you think will be the indicators from your team early on that will let you know that your team is on the right path once the season kicks off?
Yeah, I think our leaders are stepping up, right? We got about a 13-person leadership council that we're getting ready to meet as much as we can and make sure those guys understand that it's their job to help on top of us, right? Establish hey, this is how we do things around here, right? And then show those guys, the rest of the team, what it looks like to be good men in our program. And so I want our guys to be tough, physical, but I want them to have character and discipline and not be afraid to help people up when you do knock them down, right? And be okay with that, and show up and play our best and not focus on anybody else but the UWF Argos.